You're listening to the B2B Growth Think Tank, the show that brings you the virtual hot seat where each week my expert guests and I help another business leader by masterminding actionable solutions to a specific challenge they're currently trying to solve in their business. So if you're looking for answers to a specific challenge that you're facing, that if you could solve in the next 90 days would have a huge impact on your growth, send it in to thinkttank@thinklikeafish.co.uk and we'll see if we can feature you on the show. My name is Adam King, your host and the captain of the ship at growth consultancy Think Like a Fish. And if you're ready to rethink what's possible for your business and discover the growth strategies, advice and insight to turn this new vision into a reality, let's get started. Hey, Adam here, and thanks very much for tuning in. And as you are, I'm going to make the assumption that you are responsible for generating revenue for an established B2B professional service business, and you're looking to grow your revenue. So what I've got for you, you're going to absolutely love, because I've recently released my new revenue multiplier calculator and bonus training, where using this tool and following the training, you'll discover how to uncover the hidden revenue opportunities in your business and be able to systemize your growth using 7 revenue multipliers that can double your business in 12 months or less. So if you want to go and grab your copy, go to thinklikeafish.co.uk/calculator. Now, on to today's episode. What I want to do is sort of move on to today's virtual hot seat, and what we'll do is have a little look at this challenge that has been sent in by a listener. And today's virtual hot seat challenge is coming from someone that's a solo consultant, and what they're saying is that I'm experiencing a challenge where I'm doing different things for different clients, and the clients are random and they're not in the same vertical. My question is how to address this challenge when my network, which is referring clients to me, exists in multiple different verticals. What are your first thoughts when you hear that?
Been there, done that. I work with agencies, and that was one of the most annoying things for me personally, that you work with different companies in different fields. Actually, it's better to try to focus on less. Like if you are the one who's getting the clients, if you're a freelancer or an agency owner, I would suggest eventually to go with like 1, 2, or 3 segments and choose clients from those segments, because no matter how hard you try, how big is your company, it's very hard to do e-commerce, do real estate, they're completely different fields. Each field requires different approaches. So at the end, I would suggest to choose path, choose which one you want to go with, where do you have most experience, and just have ground rules for each one. Just have knowledge for each category of the client that you're working with. If you go all over the place, it will always be hard to have enough knowledge. I've done a lot of work in different agencies. I've done e-commerce marketing. Now I'm doing startup marketing. It's all very different. Sure, there are techniques are same. You're setting up it's the same technically, but there goes so much things there that you won't be able to be very good at it if you don't focus on at least at max 3 different fields.
Yeah, and I think that sort of reading into this, I think that is what they've identified, and they are wanting to go into it. And I think that, first of all, the thing that came to mind was, well, you're obviously delivering something that's valuable because you're having people in your network refer. And that is always a good sign that you deliver value and that there is, it's a validated offer. It is something that people want and all that kind of thing. And you're obviously doing a good job of making it easy for people to refer you. Now, obviously, we don't know how many referrals they're getting and all that kind of thing. So I think to sort of consider the root of the challenge, I think it's the first thing is all the things that you've said. Is have you actually sat down and gone, this is where I want to specialize?
Yeah.
That's the first thing to consider, because unless you know what that is, you cannot then start to almost educate your referral sources in terms of the kind of clients that you do your best work with. because there's sometimes nothing worse than sort of receiving a referral and knowing it's completely wrong, and then having to have that sort of awkward, I don't know if this is the right person, but it's a great referral source. I don't know how, sort of how much social capital is sort of in this and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's important to really sort of think about that. And once you've got that, one of the things that I consider doing is just sort of contacting all the people that have referred to you in the past, and just simply having a conversation and sort of, just saying thank you. Like, there's the first thing. Thank you very much for sending me these referrals. They've been fantastic. One thing I just wanted to let you know is that I am focusing the way that I, or the direction of my business. So I want to make sure that the referrals, if you're continuing to send them, I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to do my best work for them. So here is where I am. Like, that's something that you can do. The other thing is making things very clear on your marketing, your website, everything that you sort of put out into the world, that is very, very specific on who you accept and who you reject. Like, accept is one thing, but often we don't put the kind of characteristics or the, I guess, the things that you would reject in a client.
Yeah.
Like, it's not always upfront. If somebody is just, for example, if they are a startup business and you only work with established businesses, like, you would reject a startup business. Yeah. A business in, the first 2 years of their existence, for example, like, that is something you would have to reject, because you may know that over time you've not been able to get the same level of result potentially that you can with others. It's just an example. It's not saying that you should never work with startups, but it's one of those examples. Does that sort of bring anything else to mind? Have you sort of seen things like that happen and been through a similar kind of exercise?
Yeah, basically what I wanted to add to what we just said is, when choosing what companies you're working with, what fields you're working with, always ask yourself how scalable that field is. Let's say in 2 years, in 3 years, how many clients, customers will you be able to have if you go with this direction and not that direction, and keep that in sync with your own goals, and choose where you want to go.
And the last thing that sort of comes to mind for this person is an idea that may or may not be appropriate, but if they've got a pool of people making referrals, then it potentially means that you've got a group of people that you could also bring together, and whatever you want to call it, a community, a mastermind, a referral network, whatever it is. And if you're the one at the center, I call this, as part of my process, the network maximizer, but it is where you're the one that is sort of like connecting. So not only are you potentially going to generate more revenues for more referrals for yourself, but you are also you put yourself in the leadership position of then connecting all of your other referral sources. But if you are now looking to go in a very specific way, you can get very specific with the kind of verticals or the referral sources you've had in the past that you invite into that. And maybe you do something as simple as a Zoom conversation once a month, once every quarter, whatever that may well be, where you just discuss things that are going on in the business. What are you looking for help with? Are you looking for things, that kind of stuff? And you're the sort of connector between that. And what that will do is that will position you as that leadership role, and you will ultimately, I've found more people will start sort of reaching out and connecting and referring and all the rest of it. But then you're not keeping it to yourself. My philosophy is a rising tide lifts all ship. So
we're also
can you do something like that?
Friends there as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, there's some sort of ideas, and I think that the core one is you've got to make the decision yourself before you can even start to accept or expect other people to be only sort of referring the right kind of people to you. And then you have to take the leadership role in actually educating and talking to people about the things that you do and the kind of people you help and the kind of results that you actually help them achieve. And that would be one of the first two steps, and then maybe considering the idea of that sort of referral network, that mastermind group, whatever you want to call it, because that could be incredibly powerful. That could be the only marketing or sales or business development you ever need to do, because it's that powerful. That is a growth hack, by the way. It really is. No, thank you very much for that. I do enjoy doing these and sort of bouncing the ideas. So I hope that has been helpful for not just who sent this in, but also everybody listening. So that's it for this episode. I hope you found it valuable. I hope you got some great ideas that you can take away and apply to your business to help you grow. If you did, please share it with somebody else that might also find this valuable, because they will thank you for it. Also, to let you know that I have a podcast gift page where I put a lot of resources that I love to share with my listeners. You can find the links to join the Facebook community there, and you can get my book, The Conversational Relationship Marketing, and the audiobook version, all for free, plus a number of other resources I'll be adding over time on that page. So make sure you head there to thinklikeafish.co.uk/podcast gift, and you can help yourself to the things that make most sense to you. And if you have enjoyed the show, please make sure you're subscribed. You'll get updated as the new episodes come out. And finally, last favour, please consider giving the show your honest rating and review on Apple Podcasts. I read every single one. They mean the world from me. I love hearing from my listeners, and it does help others find the show as well. So if you want to go and do that, I'd really appreciate it. But until next time, have an awesome day, and we'll speak soon.